In this micro tut we are going to just go over the history of the command prompt and how we're going to use it in day-to-day development. So in a previous course we kind of created an application from scratch for a beginner. So we installed or set up the local environment, and we also needed to utilize the command prompt to use the Angular CLI. So I just wanted to go over some of the commands, etc., that you come into on a day-to-day basis. Firstly, let's see how we can open the command prompt. You can use the search icon to search for that, or click on the Windows logo. I'm going to use the Windows logo because when I click the search one it pops up on another screen for me. So type in there command prompt. You can see that before I got to command prompt it was already at the top of the list. We've got a couple of options here, additional options where we can run it as an administrator or see where the file's located. We're just going to click the command prompt icon, and that has popped up on another screen for me. Let's drag that there so you can see that by default we have got a pretty much empty console window or a command prompt window, and you'll notice that the path there is a default path. You can set or change this for where you'd like it to open up, where you most commonly use it. So I tend to change that to my programming directory, which is on a D drive in a couple of folders. So some of the common commands, the first one I guess really would be to list out what's in the current directory, and in the Windows command prompt we can do that by using the dir command, which is short for directory or directories. So you can see when we hit enter on there that we're in this directory and it contains all of these files and folders. And if we wanted to navigate, let's say, to a music folder here, we can use another command which is cd, and that's short for change directory. So we have to type cd and then we've got to type in the full path or the full folder name and hit enter. You can see now that we're in the music folder. We can also navigate backwards, so we type cd space and then we do double period and then a slash and hit enter again, and then we go back to our previous folder. This for me, navigating in the terminal, is probably, just with the default Windows CLI, is pretty much as complicated as it gets. Sometimes I do create folders or delete folders, and for creating a folder you can use the mkdir command. So let's just create one called test, hit enter, and it doesn't look like anything's happened, but if we do run the dir command again, dir, then we should see here that we've now got our test folder. So we can navigate into that and then hit enter, and we're now in our test folder. So if we popped open the command prompt and we knew we wanted to use it to create a project, we would navigate around using the cd commands to where we wanted to be, and then we might make a folder, and then we would go into that folder, and then we would run the Angular CLI commands, which is where we sort of come from to do this video, just a bit more coverage. So if we wanted to create our project here now, we would do ng new. These are Angular CLI commands, so we're not going to do that at the minute, but we can just run the help one just to see that we've got the Angular CLI available in the command prompt. So when you install different CLIs, they'll be available to run from the command prompt as well. So we can do well, we previously covered one where we did the code one as well. So we installed Visual Studio Code, so we can start with the prefix of code, and then we do a period which tells it to open VS Code in this current directory. So we're going to hit that just for giggles, and you can see that it's popped open in our test folder, and there's nothing in there, so we don't get any files or anything displayed here. I'm going to close that down. Okay, I think that about covers it. I appreciate it's very short, very briefly, but that's very brief. But that's about as far as my day-to-day interaction goes with just opening up the command prompt and using the default sort of commands that are available. And when I'm saying the default ones, I mean anything other than something else that I've installed, like the Angular CLI. So obviously that gets a little bit more complicated, and we're not going to cover that in this video. The other thing that I will just note is that the command prompt is very basic and it's relatively dumb. There are better options available. One more recently is the Windows terminal. I'm just going to pop that open now. I've been doing a little bit of work in this morning on a project. I'll tell you what, let me just open up another one so we don't have all that noise. So this is the Windows terminal, but you can see that it opens up a PowerShell console window for us. We've got various ones available. We can open up the command prompt, which is what we've just been using, and we can also use the Windows PowerShell or Azure Cloud Shell. Don't worry about them for now. Just if you do opt for downloading the Windows terminal, then by default it's going to use the Windows PowerShell, and this is what Microsoft are kind of pushing, that they would like everybody to, on Windows, for this be the default command prompt to go to, basically. So this is a little bit smarter. I'm not sure if the dir command, the directory command, still works here. Yes, it does. So the normal one that I would use in these kind of consoles is ls. This is a Unix command. Again, don't worry about it, but it's more memorable and more meaningful for me because it's list, or short for list, and it does the same, as you can see. But one of the benefits of using the PowerShell or the Windows terminal, or indeed just another console window, because there's some out there developed specifically for developers. I used to use one called Commander, or CMDER, but it uses a lot of processing power, and I was finding that just for the small amount of usage that I was doing with it, it was just clogging up my system a little bit. One of the benefits of this is that we can, let's just do so we got the ls command here. So let's say that we wanted to navigate into the favorites folder here. We can start to type FAV, hit tab, and if that folder exists, then it will auto complete for you, which for me, I'm a lazy typer, so that's a benefit. I don't know what happened then. We didn't have CD on there, sorry. So if I do CD and then type fav and then hit tab, and you can see, so it's going to change directory now to the favorites folder. So I hit enter and we're now in the favorites folder. We can do ls or dir again to see what's in that folder, and again we've got a few bits and bobs in there, files that we've got listed. So that's a little bit about the command prompt or other options available to you, and a few of the commands. I hope that's useful and gives you a little bit of insight into using a console window in whatever form you decide to opt for. But to say, it is a very powerful tool and you shouldn't really be scared of it. It's very useful once you get used to it.